Yeah, you can read that one, Tehuti.
Okay. Tehuti, can I attain a higher form of consciousness from learning the principles of Kemet? If so, can you elaborate? Beautiful question. So I'll say this. Since I don't have the computer hooked up to show, I'll talk until I can start to show things. And let me just, a quick example of how knowledge from Kemet can change consciousness. If I was to ask, we were earlier talking about dreams. The sister was talking about Morpheus and the god of dreams and such, the Greek gods of dreams. And a lot of people, whether into astrology or tarot cards, or into Kemet or into higher knowledge or anything, most people somewhere in their story has some type of dream vision or something like that, right?
That's true.
Okay, so what is the word? What does dream mean? AD, what does the word dream mean? Do you know? Dream. I want to thoroughly explain how the concepts change and what it meant what the word meant in our ancient times and what it means today, and how that itself can affect you. If you're raised up with the word having a certain meaning, and then you're raised up under another consciousness, it will affect the way that you see that world. Let me create broadcast. We're gonna just go skip.
Does it have anything to do with the Kanaba?
Yeah, and that's everything to do with it. But okay, this is great. So, enter studio.
Shout out to Nene back in the place.
Nene's back.
Yeah.
What did Nene do?
Yeah, she just
Nene's here.
Yeah, she got the three smiling faces.
Peace, Nene. Peace, Nene.
Nene all day.
Okay. Let me. Okay. 1 second. Okay, so the word dream in English, or its root, comes from people who actually didn't believe in the power of dreams. The word dream means to deceive. It means illusion, to lie. That's what the word meant in etymology. Now, the word in Meduneter or Kemet for dream is upesh, which has a completely different meaning and understanding than the word dream. So the word upesh has a feather on top of it and two horns, two bull's horns, and it means to open up something, and it also means a light, to a light, or to raise up. And the feather represents something that is light, that your heart has to be compared to in order for you to go into an interdimensional realm consciously. So they have the scale of Ma'at with a feather on one side and a heart on the other side, and they both have to be balanced, symbolic that the weight of negative energy is removed from you. We call in Kemet Peka Mku, which means to remove negative consciousness. And once you remove negative consciousness, you become lighter. In Kemet, we said the heavy man was like the ferry boat with luggage. And this is where they got the concept that you came into this relationship with baggage. Because when you come with that baggage, you're heavy.
Yeah.
Right? You already have preconceived thoughts of a thing before a thing is even mentioned. So if you have a past ex-lady or ex-man and they've done some things to you, then you may judge the new one based on what the old one did, and you may be wondering, but I didn't do this, and she or he is mad because of what happened in her or his past, and that's the baggage that weighs on the heart, that makes the heart extremely heavy. When that baggage is lifted and negative energy is lifted from you, then you become light and you start to rise, and that's where the word upesh, which is two horns, and the two horns are representative that the bull's horns can lift up its enemy. So AD had played a video a couple podcasts ago about a bull lifting up a lion. So the upesh lifts up things, so it's symbolic of raising, but you can only raise to that higher interdimensional frequency if your heart or your consciousness is extremely light and you get rid of the negative energy. And that was the word upesh, and that was the word for dream. The other word for dream was rise. and it means to sleep and be awake.
He waiting on you, AD. My bad. Go ahead.
Waiting on you.
What I'm doing? What I'm supposed
You're gonna tell me when to bring him in.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So it meant to sleep and also be awake, and it was the word res or rise, right? That's where we get the concept of rising in the morning from a rising. And to be awake while you're sleeping today is called lucidity, or lucid dreamings. And the fact that in your dream, you can ask a question. You can set up things around your house, right, which cause you to question things around your house, so that when you dream and you see that part of the house, in your dream it will make you question. And one of the questions, as soon as you question in the dream, you can wake up, and now you're conscious, and now you're lucid. And now when you're inside of that dream, or that upesh, which is to raise up consciousness like the bull's horn, and to have your heart be as light as ma'at, so that you can vibrate on that higher frequency. That's what the word upesh meant, which was opposite from the word dream, which meant a lie and an illusion, because of people that didn't believe that dreams had power. You can go into that subconscious world, and you see something in that subconscious world which came from something you saw while you were awake. So let's say you're in that dream world, or that upesh world, and you see a bed, and you constantly see a bed in one room, a bed in the other room. You constantly see this. When you're awake in the dream, you can walk up to that bed and ask it, "What do you mean? What are you?" And talk to the bed, because what is that bed in the dream? It's just it's an aspect of your own consciousness. It's your own self. Everything in the so-called dream, or the upesh world, is you. And thus you can ask your own consciousness, or go into that compartmentalized area of your brain and ask it, because it's you. What does you mean? And the bed can tell you. So now you're in the dream, and the bed tells you, I represent laziness. I represent that you always want to lay down. Or the bed can tell you, I represent that you need some more rest. Because it's your own conscious manifest. Your consciousness is and here it comes back. Your consciousness is manifesting all the images.
You don't care about what AD says.
AD has his right eye. The subconscious image, the subconsciousness manifests your own thought into something relatable to you that you can understand.
So is your consciousness the ka? Is your dream world? Is that the ka?
No, the ka. The ka, which is the bioenergetic template, is actually what protects your body and keeps you conscious while your body is sleeping. You see, a lot of people ask the question, they say, well, I'm afraid to astral project, or I'm afraid to come out of my body, because what's going to protect my body when I'm out? People ask me this all the time, will I get possessed? Who's protecting me if my spirit is traveling? And that's why in Kemet we had 9 aspects. One of the aspects was called the Ka. It was the bioenergetic template represented by 2 hands, which meant to embrace in the pyramid text. And that bioenergetic template keeps you conscious while it projects the bioenergetic etheric double. And that bioenergetic etheric double keeps echoing out. Hey, Mojito. AD, maybe you just bring me the bag.
Yeah, you just gotta move the bag. Okay. No, AD, don't do that to Mojito, man. Mojito's chill. What he's supposed to do is food.
I know. Okay, so the bioenergetic double, which I showed in some Killah Priest, some podcast earlier, was there's an echo of what looks like your physical body, and it can vibrate on what they call today the real time zone. And the real time zone is taught by Robert Bruce. He's a modern day astral projectionist, and what Robert Bruce teaches is that the real time zone is the exact realm that you see right here, but it's the echoed realm, and it's a shadowy version of all of this. So it moves in real time. So you have a real computer, and that's your first stage of astral projection. Then your body can make another bioenergetic double, and that one goes into a higher frequency. Then that one can make another one, it goes into a higher frequency, and a higher frequency until you cannot explain what takes place in those realms by things you see right here. While that is happening, there still is an etheric chord called in Kemet the sutet. The sutet, which is the double walking, or the to walk or to travel, echoed, which is the echoed bioenergetic double, still connected by the silver cord to the body, still controlled by the Ka, so the Ka knows what's going around it. So thus, even if you're sleeping and completely unconscious and your body is in China or down the street, you still hear your alarm clock.
And Ka is the spirit?
Yeah, so it's interesting trying to equate the Kemetic words to the English word, because spirit is just from the word spiritos, and it just means to breathe.
Right.
It's just to breathe.
breath.
Whereas the Ka is a double body that can project itself, and it's a bioenergetic template. And the Ba is the part that can actually fly and move around, which is why it's represented by a hawk. With wings. It's called the golden ba, or the nebak. The golden ba, which was gold because it was representative of the sun and how the sun rises in Uben, and then you're born again into that next world. So what happened is the Jews took the word Uben and they created the word Ben, and now the word Ben in Hebrew means sun.
Yeah.
So now there's Ben Stiller, there's Dr. Ben Yochanan, rest in peace. There's Yahweh, Ben Yahweh. And that Ben comes from the first line in the Purim Haru, the Book of the Dead, which is Uben Ra, Uben Ben, which means to rise, which is the light rising, because that's your Ka. The word Ka is also the word Ku, and it means a light, conscious light, and it travels. And it travels, but it can only travel to a certain distance. Then the Ba travels further. But the Ka it can travel, but it has to stay close to the body. It keeps you conscious. That's how it was taught.
Ka
So,
Ba.
yeah, the Ka and the Ba. Right.
So is that symbolic, the Kaaba, is that symbolic to what they did with the Islam with the stone?
No,